Hey Taurus rising. My name is Kate. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Baby Doll Magic Tarot. I'm going to be using the tarot deck to look at some guidance for Taurus and Taurus rising for October and November 2020. If you know your rising sign, please check that video out too for your rising sign, because I use astrology as well as tarot, and the astrology I use is going to be more applicable to the rising sign. Let's get right into these cards, Taurus. I'm going to pull for past, present, future, and then we're going to go deeper into those energies. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. We've got the Five of Pentacles. And we've got the Five of Swords. Bottom of the deck, the Fool in reverse. This is Uranus, and we have Uranus in Taurus at the moment, retrograde, reversed. Okay, so Taurus, let's talk about this retrograde first of all. So Uranus stationed retrograde in the sign of Taurus on the 15th of August. Let's cast our mind back to then. Whatever you were putting in motion around the 15th of August, Taurus, it might have been some sort of a radical change. It might have even taken people by surprise. You might have been acting radically or unpredictably in an area of your life. For Taurus rising, it could have been who you are, how you perceive the world, your reactions, your responses, how you wanted to identify yourself. For other Taurus placements, it could have been around making a radical change around your daily routine, around how you invest your time, where you put in your effort. You've been putting in a lot of effort and you've been putting in a lot of time and work into an area of your life. Seven of Pentacles is about waiting to get the results of something. It's when we're manifesting, Taurus. So whatever you've been manifesting, around the time of August, you were making changes, long-term changes. Some of it took you by surprise, but some of you were directing these changes around the Uranus retrograde in your home sign, Taurus. Seven of Pentacles is about work and commitment, and we're going to be seeing results. And when are we going to be seeing results? Well, Taurus, there is a full moon in the sign of Taurus on Halloween night this year. And that's when I think you're going to start seeing the culmination of the efforts made through August and September to change something in your life, to liberate yourself. That's what Uranus wants for us. Freedom, your rebellion even. Some of you were rebelling against something, rebelling against the status quo, rebelling against other people in your life, people that you may have even spent a lot of time and effort or time with. But there has been effort, conscious effort been taken, Taurus, and you're going to start seeing the results around that culmination, full moon in Taurus. And you know where that full moon stations? 8 degrees of Taurus on Halloween night, and that's where Uranus is, 8 degrees of Taurus. So that's when I think you're going to be able to see the culmination, the results of something. You're worried about finances, and if you're not worried about finances, you're worried about this investment paying off. You're worried that you're not going to see the results of the Seven of Pentacles, whatever we've been waiting to see, our manifestations come to reality, Taurus. The Five of Pentacles does speak to me about some sort of a worry in the material. The coins are the discs, pentacles, they're earth, they're tangible. So something hasn't come to fruition yet, and this month it's leaving you thinking, is this ever going to happen? Be patient. I think around the full moon at the end of the month on Halloween night, the 31st, is when things are going to culminate and you can harvest then. The Five of Pentacles also speaks to me about some feeling of alienation. With the Five of Swords too, these two fives in this reading are a more constrictive energy. They can be a harder energy to navigate our way through without getting down about things. If we're feeling in some way in the month of October that we're in a way alienated from other people, not able to really connect with people or vibe with people, it's possible that it's possible that you're just on a journey right now, Taurus, which is kind of individual, and it's maybe taking some people by surprise in what you're doing. Some people aren't happy with it, perhaps, Taurus, but you can't keep everybody happy. This is something you're working magic on, Taurus. The Seven of Pentacles speaks to me about a manifestation, making something real. Uranus in retrograde, we're going to see how you're liberating or more radical actions that you've been taking since August how they're going to culminate. Maybe not everybody will be happy with this, maybe, but you can't keep everybody happy. Let's look deeper into these cards, okay? So I do see that the two fives in this reading, for some of you, there may be just a partnership of yours or a relationship of yours that just is kind of shocked by you at the moment. There's an important relationship in your life, I think, that you might be just surprising that person. Let's look at these Seven of Pentacles. What have we been investing our time in? What are we trying to manifest? We've been trying to manifest something for a couple of months now. And I think you're just worried that it's not paying off. And that's what this Five of Pentacles worry is. The Four of Cups. You wanted to get away from something and make some very big changes in your life. Death card at the bottom of the deck. The Scorpio card. Your sister sign, Taurus. So there's some energy here, Taurus, of wanting to make a really radical change and shift in your life. It had to bring some sort of an ending, and we had to evolve through an ending. Now, this ending that's signaled to me with the Death card and this transformation, it may have really taken people by surprise around the Uranus retrograde in around August 15th. Cast your mind back to this time. The Fool card in reverse and the Death card speak to me about liberating and change, but you needed to have something needed to come to an end. The Four of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. You've put a lot of time and effort into something, Taurus. For some of you, you've lost interest in that. And that could be just because you're not seeing the results yet. For some of you, Taurus, this moving away and this ending that is signaled to me in this Death card here, you're putting a lot of effort and time and conscious action into making this change, into making this action, but it still hasn't materialized for you the way you want it to, I think. And the Four of Cups is telling me your interest is waning now. You're losing momentum on something. And it's because it hasn't paid off for you yet, or it's because you're just not seeing the results and you're doubting yourself now. You're starting to tell yourself in the Five of Swords, like, I didn't make the right choice to do that. I let myself run with something that I truly believed in, and it turned out that perhaps my brain was playing tricks on me for some part of it. Either way, something ended, something changed, and it needed to change for liberation, okay? You're still waiting for something to pay off, and you're seeing that the results are perhaps slower, and perhaps if it's an investment, maybe you're not happy with how that turned out, and maybe you are at some sort of a loss. The Four of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles is kind of telling me that you've lost interest in this investment. You've lost interest in this manifestation, and you're not seeing it through. The Death card is talking to me about Scorpio season, when we are going to have that full moon in Taurus, okay? So on the full moon in Taurus, that will be directly opposite to the sun in Scorpio, which we'll see on Halloween night. The sun will be in Scorpio, the full moon will be in Taurus, conjunct Uranus, 8 degrees of Taurus. We're going to be seeing a culmination of our manifestation around the full moon. Let's look at this Five of Pentacles. You're worried that this isn't working out yet. Let's see. What is this Five of Pentacles talking to me about your manifestation, about what you've been working on, about how you're trying to be liberating yourself? Something is not sitting well with you at the moment, Taurus. You're having doubts. Seven of Cups, because things are not clear. This is also a Scorpio card, Venus in Scorpio. So I think around Scorpio season, when the sun is opposite to your sun, Taurus, you're going to want to push forward with something, but you want to push forward with your endeavors, but you're doubting yourself. You don't have the resources, you don't have the support, Taurus, around you to push forward with this. The Seven of Cups is about having a lot of options, but feeling overwhelmed by all of these choices. We haven't landed on a choice yet. I have two sevens in the reading, talking to me about challenges that need to still be overcome in this in around this area of your life that some of your manifestations, there's still challenges around them. You've had to end something. You've had to end something you weren't interested in anymore. And now you're losing interest in this current endeavor of yours because you don't have the support. Some of you don't have the financial means to carry this through, and some of you you're not feeling in yourself that you've made the right choice, and you're starting to doubt yourself, or else people around you are going to be expressing doubt. I see this card as the card for November. So let's look at these cards, Taurus. These two sevens are representing challenges, and I think we need to narrow down what it is that we want, because the Seven of Cups is saying, yeah, we haven't seen results of this yet because we're still overwhelmed, and we probably haven't fully landed on what it is that we want. Five of Swords, how are we going to mitigate this? Because I have a feeling, Taurus, that leaving this reading with the Five of Swords, you're going to be in November thinking, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I made a mistake. Let's see how we can mitigate the energy of the Five of Swords leaving this reading. Let's look at the Five of Swords. Seven of Wands, so another seven. All of these sevens in this reading, Taurus, are telling me there's still a lot of challenges to overcome, but progress is being made. You are making progress. You just have to narrow down your options and get clear about what you want, because you're overwhelmed at the moment. You're overwhelmed by perhaps money worries, perhaps feeling like this is going to leave you ostracized from or alienated from the people you're with, and you just don't have their support at the moment. The Seven of Wands does speak to me about perseverance, and even if you don't have the support of others, if you feel in your gut and if you feel deep down that this is right what you're doing, and you've weighed up everything, you've examined all your options, you haven't just gone for what you think is true and just only examined or researched the evidence around this project or endeavor that is supportive. You've looked at the drawbacks, you've looked at the other side of the story. It's very important to look at the other side of the story, Taurus, and see other opinions, see the other options. Persevere through these challenges, especially if you're already in so deep in this investment, or you're in so deep in this manifestation. You might have to just see it through despite there being some lingering self-doubt. I see some challenges for the month of October, for the month of November for you, Taurus rising. 31st of October is when we're going to harvest, and we're actually going to have a culmination period. Sun in Scorpio, full moon in Taurus, 8 degrees of Taurus, conjunct Uranus in reverse, in retrograde at 8 degrees Taurus also. Figure out, Taurus, what is in your chart around 8 degrees Taurus. Some of you might even have your sun there. Some of you might have your ascendant there. And that's going to be pretty major. There's going to be some... So think if were making some radical changes in around August, if you were making these radical changes, and we haven't seen the results yet. We're still waiting. There's still so much unclear and so much up in the air yet for you, Taurus. It's saying to persevere, because you're starting to doubt yourself. You're starting to worry, and you're starting to get stressed now because you moved away and ended something that you weren't interested in anyway, and you had lost your spark for it. I think let's look around the full moon on Halloween night. I think that's when we're going to have some culmination, and our manifestations will be able to say, oh, now this all makes sense. Now it's just going to be challenging up until then. I think, Taurus, continuing to be challenging. I want to look at another deck through the eyes of Libra. So it's Libra season. The sun is still in Libra at the moment, and through the eyes of Libra, I want to ask a couple of questions for Taurus from this Libra season until the next Libra season. Libra is the sign of balance. So is there an area of Taurus's life where they could do with rejuvenating and restoring balance in that area of their life? What area of Taurus's life would be most beneficial for Taurus to restore balance in? Five of Pentacles again. So we have this double energy of the Five of Pentacles, and Taurus, this is one of your cards too. So Taurus, you're worried about something in a very big way. You're worried about not fitting in. You're worried that these radical changes you're making just don't sit well with everybody. You've maybe lost some people. I don't mean a physical loss or death. I just mean some people have had to leave your circle, leave your energy field because there was some sort of a disharmony. Some of you are taking relationships very seriously. If some of you are with a partner now and you're recently partnered up, or it's a more fresh partnership, that might not have sat well with everybody. Some people may not have agreed with that. I'm seeing that coming up for some people. There's something that's really bothering you, Taurus, or worrying you. I think we need to restore balance, because if we're in this Five of Pentacles phase where we're really stressed out, we're not sure, for some of us it's money worries, for some of us it's worrying that we're not on the right path in life, and for some of us it's worrying about alienation and just not fitting in around the people around us. You'll find your soul tribe. The Pentacles are all about our soul connection and being aligned to what we're doing here. And so, Taurus, I think finding balance, because we have the Six of Pentacles here as well at the bottom of the deck, which is the balance restored after this disharmony in the Five of Pentacles. And I have another five right here too, the Five of Wands. So I have all my fives out on the deck, out here almost, and it's telling me that we are in a period of contraction. We're feeling restrictions. We're feeling these challenges. The sevens are telling me overcome. Magic is still about to happen, and there's no better time for this magic to happen than on the full moon in Scorpio season, the full moon in Taurus. You'll, I think, be able to restore balance around this time, because you'll see what's working and you'll see what has paid off and what hasn't. And if there has been investments that we have made that haven't worked out, well, we might just have to move on. Life is always moving, and we can't dwell in this scarcity mindset. This is, we don't have enough, I'm not enough, these people don't love me, I don't fit in. We can't reside in that sort of a mindset, Taurus, especially when there's all this magic waiting to happen. That's what the 3 sevens, 7 is the magic number, and it's about manifestation. It's about progress being made. Stick with it, Taurus. Things are challenging now, I'm no doubt about it. Things are getting you down or grinding you down. Stick with it. Magic is about to happen. Keep an eye out on how you've been making radical shifts and radical changes, sometimes unpredictable to yourself, to others. And that's when we're going to start to see some balance restored, I think, around this full moon. But this double energy of the Five of Pentacles is telling me you're worrying about something. But if we look at this deck, if we look at this version of the card compared to this is quite speaking to me of the typical isolation and left outside in the cold, basically. Look at all the life that's happening in this Five of Pentacles. I think this is where we need to be. Magic is still happening for us, even in these dark nights of the soul, because that's what this reminds me of, a dark night of the soul, but the growth that comes from this, the butterfly emerging from the cocoon. Okay, let's look at this deck again, and I want to ask another question for you, Taurus, through the lens of Libra again. Libra is the other sign ruled by Venus, like you, Taurus, and you are very focused on sensual beauty and earthly beauty and feeling things and sensing your way through things, and Libra can be more about the aesthetics and the romance of beauty, and how things look, rather than how things feel, as would be more of a Taurian way to approach things. Venus there manifesting in Taurus, the earth sign. Libra loves ideas and the idea of beauty. In what area of Taurus's life are they failing to see the beauty in? And in what area of Taurus's life could they really benefit from seeing the beauty in? The Two of Wands, taking a chance again. If something hasn't worked out for you, Taurus, and if some investment doesn't pay off, or you feel like you wasted some time believing in something, you were led astray in some way, you invested energy in a place that turned out to be deceptive even, get back into the world, take another chance. Don't let this dishearten you. You maybe are failing to see the beauty in change, Taurus, and that life is always changing, and we can still take chances on things. If something doesn't work out, we can just get back up on the horse's back and try something new. So don't be afraid to realize the beauty in trying new things. If something that we had put a lot of time and effort into, if something we really thought was right turned out to be in some way a falsehood, or leaving us alienated, or without leaving us feeling scarce, don't let that dishearten you from getting back into the world and setting your sights on something new, and continuing to take chances and continuing to be open up. Let's look out for that full moon in Taurus around Halloween. Please feel free to drop me a comment to let me know how your manifestations turned out, and how things culminated for you, and was there any clarity. Okay, Taurus, I will check in again around, there's a Mercury retrograde mid-month actually, and that's on the on October 14th, and that Mercury retrograde will be happening in Libra. It's going to be happening between Scorpio and Libra actually, so watch out for any miscommunications around then, as always, but I'll check in with the earth signs around the Mercury retrograde again. Okay, Taurus, thanks for watching, take care.